Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, I'm going to be reacting to a video that Graham Stephan just posted talking about the car market, what's happening within the market, and then he gave advice at the end of the video as to what you should do with the current circumstances that we are experiencing. And spoiler alert, the advice was absolutely horrible because apparently scamming his viewers out of hundreds of millions of dollars via the whole FTX scam situation wasn't enough for him. He now wants to go and give horrible car buying advice so that his viewers can lose thousands of dollars when they go and purchase a car. And so with that being said, before we get into the video, as always, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. And if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post this content every single day. Let's get into it. So first off, if you don't know who Graham Stephan is, he is one of the finance gurus on YouTube, and he's probably the most popular at this point with over 4 million subscribers. And he was the channel that everyone loved because unlike a lot of the other channels, he wasn't really promoting risky investing. He was telling people to dollar cost average the stock market and to also dollar cost average the cryptocurrency market, which compared to the people that are telling you to, YOLO all of your money on this day and then pull out on this day, it was something that was a little bit more level-headed. And so, overall, the advice that he gave was pretty rock solid, even when it came to the car market, because he actually made a video talking about the car market, I think it was about a month or 2 months ago. However, he has completely gone off the rails because one of his biggest sponsors, FTX, turned out to be a complete scam. And it turns out that while he made, millions of dollars off of promoting this company, his viewers lost hundreds of millions and potentially billions of dollars because that company, FTX, probably wouldn't exist if it weren't for him promoting it. And so him, going down that route has now decided that he wants to give people car buying advice, and that's what he did in a video today. And again, like I said at the beginning of the video, his advice was absolutely horrible. Now, Graham's car market update today was actually fine for the most part because most of the video was him just overviewing what is happening within the market, and he was relatively accurate with most of the information that he gave in the video, so completely fine. But at the end of the video, he gives his advice as to what you should do as a viewer if you are in a certain situation. And that situation is if you can no longer afford your car. And what he basically says is, hey, if you think you're going to lose your job or if you just simply can't make your car payment anymore, you need to go and sell your car immediately and trade into something cheaper, which on the surface, that sounds like good advice. And we'll discuss why that might not make sense in a moment. And then his other piece of advice was, well, if you can't trade it in, then work on a repayment program with your lending institution so that you don't have your car repossessed. Now, when it comes to the piece of advice for someone to trade in their car, again, on the surface, that sounds like really sound advice because he's saying, hey, you have this depreciating asset that is really expensive, go trade it for a less expensive depreciating asset. But here's the deal. If he actually researched what's happening in the car market today, then he wouldn't give that advice because right now, cars that are quote unquote affordable, cars that are under $10,000 are the hottest thing on the market right now. And people are having to massively overpay for them at this point because of how much demand there is for those cars. And then on top of that, the more expensive cars, again, his hypothetical situation where someone has a slightly more expensive car they can't afford anymore, are the ones that are depreciating at the fastest rate. And those are the ones that have the weakest trade-in values right now. So what he's basically telling his viewers is, hey, right now, you should go trade in your car when the market is going to be the softest on your trade-in value. You're going to get the least amount of money possible on your car that you are probably upside down in, and go and buy something you're going to have to overpay on because everyone is currently trying to buy cheap cars. And so this just goes to show that you have to be really careful with these YouTube videos out there because, yeah, he did enough research to kind of give a brief overview of what's happening in the car market, but not enough research to be able to give you guys sound advice in terms of what you should actually do. So if you happen to be that hypothetical viewer where you own a car and you're struggling to make the payments, going in and trading in right away when the market is as volatile as it is right now and trying to buy something cheaper that is in the hottest segment of the market right now might not necessarily be the best idea. It's something that you definitely need to tread carefully with. And that's why when I talk about, what you should do as a buyer in these videos, I always tell you to take a step back, look at the numbers when it comes to the situation that you're in, and make sure that it actually makes logical sense. Now, on the loan repayment side of things, he didn't really dive into this too much, and he should have, because with loan repayment programs, what you typically have to do to actually fully pay off your loan if you decide to work out a deal with your lending institution is to pay significantly more interest than what you would normally pay, because you're usually extending the loan out. And that needs to be talked about, because this is not a loan on a house or something that typically goes up in value. This is a loan on a car that loses value. So he's literally recommending his subscribers to pay even more interest on something that is consistently losing value, especially in today's market when a lot of cars are losing anywhere from 1 to 2% in value per week. So now that we've covered Graham's horrible advice when it comes to car buying, what would be good advice? And first off, I have to put a disclaimer that this is not financial advice, just like what Graham always says, but please go click the link in the description down below and invest in this cryptocurrency scam so that you can lose tens of thousands of dollars and I can make millions of dollars every single year. But I digress. Here's the situation. So this is not going to be a sexy answer, but if you happen to be in a position where you just got laid off, or if you just aren't making enough money to make your car payment, well, either get a second job or get a new job. Because yes, there are certain industries like the tech industry where jobs are declining. But there are other industries in the job market where people are hiring like crazy, like the hospitality industry and, just like manual labor type jobs. I happen to have a close friend right now that is making more money than he has ever made because nobody wants to do industrial cleaning anymore, and he happens to do it. And so he is literally getting paid over 6 figures per year to clean up poop, basically. Again, not a sexy job, but it makes enough money to pay the bills. And so if you can, kind of humble yourself and go, okay, well, I don't want my car to get repossessed. I've got to be willing to do what it takes to pay the bills. And it's just that simple. And again, this is advice that, not a lot of people are going to say. They're going to say, oh, you got to do this crazy trick thing where you trade in your car at this point and then you go buy this car at this point and all that. And it's like the market's too volatile for that right now. The best thing that you can do is do whatever it takes to continue to make your car payment. Moral of the story, whether it's car buying advice or financial advice, especially if it's posted on YouTube, take it with a grain of salt, because there is obviously monetary benefits to the person that is posting the videos on YouTube. Nobody is doing this for purely altruistic reasons. It would be awesome if that was the case, but there is always something that is benefiting the person making the videos, whether it's something as simple as YouTube ad revenue or, some sort of crypto Ponzi scheme. There is always something that is benefiting the person making the video. And so what you always need to do after you watch any of these videos is just take a step back and just look at things logically and go, okay, here are the risks, here are the benefits, and write them down. I think that's a great idea. Write them down so you know exactly what you're getting yourself into before you dive in, because especially over the next few months, you're going to hear a lot of channels, whether it's in the finance world or in the car world, telling you now is the time to buy or now is the time to sell. And I know a lot of people are going to get hyped up because of that, and they're going to, whether it be a car or whether it be something like a stock or cryptocurrency, they're going to buy or sell, and it won't be the time, and they're going to end up losing massive amounts of money, and that's obviously not good for anyone. Now that's going to sum things up for today's video, and I will most likely not be posting content like this in the future because I just want this channel to still be focused around new cars that have been released and then also just going over the general car market. But I felt the need to make this video because when I see one of the biggest financial YouTubers go from literally being exposed for scamming people out of probably what will end up being, like I said, hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars, to then going and giving horrible car buying advice, which would ultimately scam people out of even more money. I had to bring it up. Like this has to be talked about more until creators like Graham Stephan realize like the position that they're in and how their advice can literally financially ruin people. Because I'm sure that there are people that will comment down in the comment section below this video that, invested in FTX and, maybe they potentially lost their life savings because they went in all in because of, again, all these financial YouTubers and how they hype everything up and like, this is the next big thing. Like, you got to invest in this if you want to become a millionaire, if you want to have $100 of passive income every single day. You guys know all the hype titles from those financial YouTubers. But with that being said, I'll see you.